Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons & Dragons, from ravenous rocks to repulsive revenants, and today we're talking about Rakshasas.
Rakshasas. Hey Brian.
We did it, Will. We made it to the next recording.
We did.
Fuck you, Apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And let's talk about a different kind of fiend today.
Okay.
So we've covered quite a few types of fiends on the Dungeoncast. Demons, devils, and even Eugoliths have all had their share of limelight on the show. But there are more types of fiends in the lower planes than just these major three. Now, these major three do make up like 90% of it all, but there are others.
Okay.
So Rakshasas are among these beings. They are a race of shape-shifting, lawful evil fiends that populate the material plane actually more often than their native lands in the lower planes. This is very rare because I can't think of another fiend out there, not even night hags, that spend more time in the material plane than the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're considered to be the very embodiment of evil. Rakshasas dominate all they encounter as masterful manipulators, powerful sorcerers, and terrible foes. They're known to be greedy, treacherous, immortal beings that delight in plotting the downfall of others while raising their own status. It's not enough that they win, others must lose for them to be happy.
And lose bad.
Exactly.
So step on whoever's... what is the saying? How does the saying go? You step on people, but is there something more specific? Like you're I'm picturing like walking up people's backs or like walking up on up their shoulders.
I know the
stepping
imagery.
on people's toes. That's not quite it. You feel what I'm putting out.
That's
though.
much lower on the totem pole of bad deeds.
Yeah, metaphorically and physically much lower.
That's too funny. I know what you mean, and I can't think. I know there's a phrase for what you're trying to say, and maybe our audience will let us know, or we'll remember by the end of the show.
They're climbing the people ladder.
They're climbing the people ladder. There we go. So they are known to be clever and deceitful by nature. Rakshasas are the bane of all creatures that are righteous, as they prefer hiding in the shadows, using layers of lies, corruption, and double crosses to keep themselves safe.
Okay.
They're infamous as well, probably even more infamous in a way, for their innate reincarnation ability, making a Rakshasa nearly impossible to kill permanently.
Right.
Now, D&D Rakshasas are very roughly based off of a creature from ancient Hindu mythology of the same name. That's where the name comes from, yeah.
Usually they do a tweak on the name, so it's kind of cool to see it.
Yeah. So Rakshasas of Hindu mythology don't really resemble D&D Rakshasas in any meaningful way, but I do find them pretty interesting, and I think there's some cool inspiration that can be found if you wanted to like maybe homebrew it up or change up the way Rakshasas work in your
So what do they look like generally? Are they just like, aren't they like tigers? Tiger people?
Oh, if we're talking about D&D one, D&D ones.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're talking about the Hindu one.
We're talking about the Hindu one right now, but and I'll get into the physical description of the D&D one after the mythology.
Righteous.
So, where was I? Where was I? Oh, yeah. I think the real life mythology of Rakshasas portray them more as akin to vampires than anything else I can think of.
Oh, so for sure.
In my readings, like they're basically vampires, but they're like vampires that eat you.
They're not vampires that turn you into vampires.
No.
They're just like hungry for your
They're hungry for your everything.
Yeah.
Really.
They just want you to die. They want a meal and they want someone to suffer for it.
Yeah. So Hindu Rakshasas are also called man-eaters, and they're most often depicted as ugly, fierce-looking, and enormous creatures with two fangs protruding from the top of their mouth and having sharp claw-like fingernails.
I see. Is that like a typical... I've seen masks that are those, right? The two fangs sounds familiar.
Know. I'm not familiar with that, but I could see that being a thing.
I'm going to Google it. A lot of stuff on the break.
Yeah, you should do that. So they are shown, or they are depicted as being cruel, growling like beasts, and as insatiable man-eaters that can smell the scent of human flesh. Some of the more ferocious ones are shown to have flaming red eyes and hair, drinking blood with their palms or from a human skull.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Generally,
that's
hardcore. Yeah, they are. It's a very metal kind of album cover. Generally, they also have magic powers. They can fly, they can vanish, and they have a specific type of magical power of illusion known as Maya, which enabled them to change their size at will and assume the form of any creature.
For sure. Okay. I got it up.
Oh, you got it up? You got the
This
image?
was what I was picturing.
I can't quite see it.
But you certainly have seen it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Okay. Yeah,
this
is a relatively popular image. I feel like without any special research, I've seen this in passing.
Right, it's a thing that you have seen. Okay.
for sure.
Interesting. So Rakshasas were believed to have been created from the breath of Brahma, the creator god in Hindu religion, when he was asleep at the end of what's called the Satya Yuga, which is also known as the Age of Truth. So as soon as the Rakshasas were created, they were so filled with bloodlust that they actually started to eat Brahma himself. And so Brahma shouted out the word Rakshama, which is Sanskrit for protect me. And Vishnu came to his aid, banishing to earth all Rakshasas, which were then named after the cry Brahma cried for help.
Okay,
Rakshama,
cool.
Rakshasa.
Got it.
So back to D&D Rakshasas.
Okay. Let me switch tabs here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a tiger man.
This is a tiger man, yeah. So Rakshasas in D&D are quite a bit different from these depictions. The true form of Rakshasa is rarely ever seen by others due to their ability to assume almost any guise that they want, although they usually prefer to masquerade as powerful or influential humanoids, a noble, a cardinal, a rich merchant, for example.
Is this like the anti-silver dragon? Sounds like silver dragon. Like they're in society
I
disguised.
can kind of see that, yeah.
Doing good.
They are kind of the anti-silver dragon. Also have nothing to do with dragons, but
no, but I mean,
I see where you're coming from.
The opposing force, perhaps, doing similar things.
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
Okay.
It's almost impossible for a silver dragon Rakshasa not to kind of meet each other and come hand to head out doing the things that they do. Is there?
Maybe that's the fight. Maybe that's the battle going on around the party.
I don't know.
In
A
your
silver
campaign.
dragon will fuck up a Rakshasa, but yeah.
If it's caught, if it can
That's
find
true.
it.
That's true. So a Rakshasa's true form combines the features of a human and a tiger. Humanoids with the heads of Bengal tigers and luxurious fur to match their attire. The eyes of a Rakshasa are gold and black with slits. However, their most unnerving and unique feature is their reversed hands. So the palms of a Rakshasa face outward for the body rather than inward. Yeah.
Oh, that's so gross randomly. What?
I know. So when their arms are at rest and the finger joints bend backwards to grasp, they have to grasp backwards to grab things.
That kind of feels like an ostrich, how the legs are inverted. You know what I mean? Don't the legs bend compared to like a human? Let me look up an ostrich.
Yeah, but isn't that all birds?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's all birds.
That's weird. Yeah, the knee go backward.
The knee go backward.
This one, the palm go backward.
Oh no,
dude.
The real life Rakshasas. Now, this doesn't detract from their manual dexterity. It just looks really disturbing to those unfamiliar with the creature, or just in general, it just looks gross.
Yeah.
Rakshasas stand to be about 6 to 7 foot tall, about average humanoid height. Their build is typical for a human of their size, and they weigh between 250 and 350 pounds. They're kind of big. They're kind of like burly. They're not like fat, but they're thick.
They're big. They're big up top.
Yeah,
upstairs.
they're big up top. Yeah.
Big downstairs too. They're just big.
They're just big.
Is this like? Are they disguising themselves to be big? You change your shape
that's
as
their
well.
true form.
No, yeah, I know, but when they're not staying that big, right?
No,
they're probably
they can
disguising
straight
themselves
shapeshift.
to be.
They can be whatever the fuck they want.
Okay,
right?
so this is a changeling level.
Yes, it is a changeling level. Yes. Okay. And the Rakshasas are very very inherently magical. They got a lot of like wide array of powers.
Okay.
So the origin of Rakshasas is like many monsters in D&D, one of discrepancy and uncertainty. Numerous tales and legends say that they came from a distant land, slowly corrupting the societies that they encountered before moving on to richer grounds. Others note that Rakshasas possess all the earmarks of having the same lineage as devil kind, although they dwell primarily on the material plane due to their lawful evil nature and tendency towards corruption and domination of mortals rather than murder and slaughter.
Okay, so, cool.
Yeah. Yes. The most popular theories include a race of fiendish animals somewhere in the Rakshasas' distant past intermingled with some unknown breed of devils. So again, kind of tied back to devils.
Okay.
And there are rumors that claim Arcanoloths. I don't know if you... Okay, so do you remember much from the Eugulus episode?
It's been a long time.
So the Arcanoloths were one of the higher form of Eugulus. They're like kind of like the jackal people.
Okay.
And they're like the really hyper intelligent spellcasty ones.
Okay, cool. I'm with you.
So there are rumors that claim that Arcanoloths, who were originally demons before they were banished from the abyss for this deceptiveness, are also the ancestors of Rakshasas, so that maybe they're related in some way.
Okay, so the Rakshasa is a demon or a devil?
It's a fiend.
It's just a general...
It's a fiend, and no one knows where the fuck it comes from. And these are all rumors and theories.
That's why a Eugulith might be a good origin stories, because they're like more of the neutral sort of party.
Sure. My point is, in canon, these are all different theories.
Totally, okay.
None of them are provable or unprovable.
Okay, so this is just one of many things.
Yeah, exactly. Some say that they're demons that fucked some animals. Others say that they're just like demons that did other things, or maybe they're descended from Arcanolophs, or maybe they just come from some place that no one knows about.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Rakshasas, though, strongly dispute all these stories. Despite their demon-like cruelty, greed, and conniving nature, dismissing them as slurs against their honorable race. They consider themselves an honorable race.
I didn't fuck no animals.
Yeah. And accusations of degeneracy.
Okay.
The 5e Monster Manual takes a more solid stance, claiming that Rakshasas originated long ago in the Nine Hells, when powerful devils created a dark ritual to free their essence from their fiendish bodies in order to escape the lower planes. The truth is that, even if Rakshasas know their actual background, none willingly part with such information, and they often spin intricate webs of lies to further confuse the issue. So, even if they do know, they probably don't, but even if they do, like, they ain't gonna tell you anyways, and they're gonna, like, just spin the lies, make themselves more mysterious, more enigmatic.
They like being this master of espionage.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
So, I'm sure we're gonna get to this later, but when you kill these kinds of creatures, they go back to their home plane, right?
Yeah, we will get into it later. But yeah, when you, much like any fiend, when you kill a fiend on the material plane, it goes back to its home plane.
Right. Okay, so that should, like, cinch that up pretty quick if you can track that somehow.
What do you mean? What?
Like, if you kill it, and if a mortal kills a Rakshasa, and it somehow knows what plane it went to, be like, well, there you go.
Well, yes and no, because it doesn't work the same for Rakshasas as it does for other fiends. When a Rakshasa gets sent back to its home plane via death, it doesn't come back as a Rakshasa in the lower planes. It comes back as like this amorphous, incorporeal phantom monster that is waiting to be reincarnated back onto the material plane, and it will be eventually.
Okay, by its own powers or by someone else's?
No one knows. Like, it just happens. So it's just inherent to what they are. My understanding, though, is their time spent in the lower planes is very painful and unpleasant. So they're really angry when they get killed, and they will come on the warpath to find. If they can't find the motherfucker who killed them, they're going to come for that dude's family or that girl's family or whatever.
Yeah, so that's like a good motivation for them to keep on if they have like a goal in mind. Like if you kill the Rakshasa, you become its target, pretty much. Yeah,
pretty much. And not just because of the unpleasantness of the whole thing, or even just the pride aspect. The thing is, the way Rakshasas work is they work for years upon decades with their schemes building up like a mafia or mob or taking over a city. And when you kill them, they don't know when or where they're coming back. They could come back 20 years later in a different continent.
Fuck.
You know what
all
I mean?
Their hard work.
Exactly. And they're pissed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But let's get back into my notes.
Sure.
So, despite their animalistic appearance, Rakshasas possess sophisticated personalities with unstoppable lust for both influence and material wealth. They combine the habits of a predatory aristocrat with those of an indolent cat, savoring the finest art, music, literature, clothing, weapons, and armor, while spending large amounts of time lazily resting in their comforts and prowling around unseen.
Okay, cool. That's kind of a fun image of some fucking rich laziness going on in my head. Yeah.
Very much so. So, powerful magic, lost spells, arcane tomes, and secret lore, particularly those of the evil variety, are of special interest to them as well, since most are born as pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Adept sorcerers.
Okay,
so
sure.
They good at the magic, so they want more of the magic.
Okay.
Yeah. Greedier than even most devils, a Rakshasa's insatiable desire for wealth and power is rivaled only by that of dragons, funnily enough.
Nice.
Yeah. And more than that, and then more than just taking what they can, Rakshasas prefer stealing and looting from those who would suffer most from such actions. So it's not like they're trying to steal from the rich. It's like they rather steal from poor people because it fucks them over more.
Whereas the dragon will steal from everybody forever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the dragon, it's not about anyone else. It's only about them.
Right.
Rakshasa is like, no, it's about how much suffering I can cause.
Cool.
Yeah. So the destitute, the desperate, and those who rely on specific items for getting by, just really fucked up. It's like, let me take your walker. I don't even need a walker, but it's mine now.
It's almost like because they're like preying on the like the sick and needy almost, kind of like how a regular. I'm looking at a picture of a tiger.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about animals. I think you're
on the right track.
They pick prey that are sick and weak.
They'll pick the baby or the sick one or the straggler.
I wonder if that's why they wrote it like that.
I think that might be, and I think it's good insight.
Although the animal's not thinking about like shitting on.
No, it's just in their nature. But I think that's how the Rakshasas are. Like, even though they're doing it out of like sheer cruelty,
right.
It's in their nature. So Rakshasas take great pride in ruining the lives of mortals, stealing everything from them, killing their families, and spreading horrible lies and rumors about the whole situation.
Huge bummer.
Yeah. But nothing brings a Rakshasa more pleasure in this regard than turning a model citizen society against them by exposing hidden truths.
Ooh.
Skeletons in the closet, if you will.
The mayor's been siphoning money from the public school district.
Right.
Also, your wife's been cheating on you.
Exactly. Fucking Rakshasas, man.
Goddamn Rakshasas!
So Rakshasas use their transformative abilities to appear as nobles, cardinals, merchant princes, crime lords, and other beings rich in power. They use their natural charisma to form vast arrays of minions, lackeys, servitors, and henchmen, and despite their pride, are masters of deceit. Rakshasas disguise not only their forms, but their very involvement in the events that they're pulling the political strings of, creating vast intrigues and instigating government corruption to secure their own safety.
The ultimate snake oil salesman.
Exactly.
You can roll into the town as the merchant and then just change into the person that is like, hey, this shit doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, that's true. You can play both sides.
Oh, man.
Very easy when you're a shapeshifter.
Cool.
Yeah. So
can you impersonate existing people?
Believe they can.
Like a changeling would?
Absolutely.
Yikes.
Yeah, he's
It
very
causes
scary.
mayhem.
Yeah, Rakshasas are very dangerous. They have an innate cleverness enhanced by their supernatural abilities, but also live by a strange sense of honor. Much like devils, Rakshasas hold to the letter of an agreement while ignoring the spirit of it to double-cross their supposed allies.
Okay.
I think it's time for a short rest.
Let's take a short rest. Bubble Laser is a professional freelance artist who specializes in D&D. Do you want to see your character brought to life by a crazy talented artist? How about printable custom character sheets complete with the visage of your PC, or custom tokens of your character for your virtual tabletop games? What about immortalizing your adventuring party with an epic piece of artwork? Of course you do, so go get your art commissioned by Bubble Laser. Bubble Laser is the official artist of the characters of Super Quest Saga, and Will, myself, your special guest Jake, and friend of the show Josh Freeland all play with her magnificently designed custom character sheets while we're recording. You can reach her at bubblelaser.com, Facebook, Instagram, or on Fiverr.com. Just search for Bubble Laser. That's Bubble Laser, one word, and laser's got a Z. We've returned.
Indeed, we have.
We're fucking back.
We are.
Holy shit. This Rakshasas are crazy, dude.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I know.
They're pretty cool.
I don't know anything. I listened to randomly, like, was trying to find a place to pick up Critical Role.
Yeah, sure.
And I did listen to a section, so spoilers for season 1 Critical Role.
Oh, season 1, okay.
Yeah, like their first campaign.
Yeah.
Rakshasa up in the mix.
Oh, yeah?
And I think they kill it like multiple times.
Because you got it.
Yeah.
It's going to keep coming.
I think eventually they have to go find it.
Yeah, that's the only way to get rid of them.
Right. So cool. Yeah. Very cool plot point. You know, I don't know what happened really.
Yeah. I've never utilized the Rakshasa in any of the campaigns I've ever ran, but I think if you were to use one, I think the best way to utilize them is either as the big bad, which I think they fit into that slot really easily, especially for a campaign that isn't expecting to go higher than like level 10.
Okay.
Or even better, is almost like a what's the word I'm looking for? I know there's a word for this type of character, but like a Jango Fett or a Boba Fett, like a badass motherfucker that's like not your main bad guy.
But when he rolls deep, you got to worry about it.
You know what? Spoilers for Super Quest Saga. If you're gonna listen to Super Quest Saga, maybe don't listen for the next 10 seconds. But the Guildmaster of the Freelancers would be this like a very similar kind of character to like the Jango Fett, the person who's not your main bad guy but is a serious threat.
Yeah, they're definitely around. This is the heavy side quest.
Yeah, exactly, the heavy side quest. There it is. So when a Rakshasa first enters a territory, it does its best to maintain a low profile, seeking out weak-willed individuals that it uses as pawns and lackeys.
Okay.
It finds a base to host its insidious dealings, often fronted by an innocuous business or even a temple to some neutral deity. Over time, however, the Rakshasa tightens the reins on both his victims and his lackeys, demanding larger and larger portions of their freedom, wealth, and power. So it's like a slow burn, like slowly ramping it up.
Okay.
Yeah, there exist countless documented cases of the Rakshasas' sinister impact upon the world, even if some only suggest the Phoenix Claws manipulating major political players. They are linked to the toppling of untold organizations, merchant houses, churches, and even entire governments. Scholars who go through the effort of untangling the web of history discover Rakshasas lurking behind some of the most deplorable crimes and tragedies imaginable. Those who delve too deeply, however, risk drawing the attention of one or more Rakshasas who might briefly band together in order to quash an investigation before it uncovers too much.
There's like a historian looking through like the castle's tapestries over the decades, the many decades, is like, who's this figure in the back they keep weaving into the tapestry? This motherfucker's a Rakshasa. Rakshasa?
Yeah. Rakshasa. Oh, your shit just went out.
It's okay. Why did that happen?
Very much like this is very much like a conspiracy theory type thing. It's like they've been there the whole time. It was Rakshasas. The Rakshasas did it, but no one believes you because they think you're crazy.
That temple historian
but
just
if
ends
you're
up
but if you're finding too much truth, the shadow government of Rakshasas comes for you.
Right, like it's like, bro, have you seen this? Blah 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 blah. Wow, we'll have to look into that. And later, the guy you told is like at your door to kill you.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
Like, you know too much.
You know too much. Yes. So, Rakshasa society could be described as a malevolent meritocracy, where only the fittest are fit for survival. Rakshasas constantly rank each other based on the power that they accumulate. Their cunning and subtlety and their willingness to show a complete lack of morals are all like key stats, if you will, into like how high in the hierarchy they are.
There's like a YouTube video that details over time which Rakshasa was the most powerful. Have you seen that? Like power scaling videos? Like who sold the most cell phones in 2018 over the 12 months?
Very much. That's very much how they view it. Female Rakshasas raise their young alone, punctuating their children's lives with doting praise, constant tests, and harsh discipline, and ruthless training. So this is like a plethora of treatment to get them in the place where they're going to go out and be great adult Rakshasas that fuck everyone's life. So.
Yeah, a combo of you're the best and you're not fucking good enough.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So as a young Rakshasa matures, it learns the meanings of both loss and power. That which is gained might easily be taken away, often by those who gave it in the first place.
Also, shit on the elderly because it's easy to do that.
I guess
and they need it the most. Also, children. Shit on children. Anybody particularly ill, go steal their medicine. Destroy it in front of them.
So once a Rakshasa reaches maturity, it's already well on its way to carving out an empire of crime and evil. Newly independent Rakshasas commonly head out for unknown territories far from its parents or any other Rakshasas for that matter. Using a variety of disguises, the Rakshasa spends years investigating a new area. A Rakshasa instinctively seeks out a safe house from which to operate, decorating its interior in ostentatious displays of its wealth. It then begins creating a network of spies, informants, and easily bribed officials from which to establish its domain, as well as creating a small cadre of loyal, easy influence lackeys. The Rakshasa then creates and takes over the local thieves guild, mercenary units, or other undesirables. So like slowly just integrating every little facet of the society.
Holy smokes.
Often doing so under one disguise or even multiple disguises.
Oh, definitely multi it up, man. That's
exactly.
going to be the most interesting part. Like, which of these characters was the Rakshasa the whole time?
Yeah, all of them.
A lot of them.
Answer all of them.
I've never seen Corporal Dan and Lieutenant Steve in the same room
at the same time.
And they're both bastards.
Yeah. It rarely reveals its true nature to anyone but utterly dedicated lieutenants whose loyalty to the Rakshasa constantly monitors both via spies and its own ability to read thoughts. Oh, yeah, it can read thoughts.
Oh, sick.
We are going to get into abilities later, but
It's
yeah,
psychic.
they can read thoughts. It's psychic.
Great.
Yeah. It can be anyone and it can read everyone's thoughts.
Is it like passively psychic or does it have to turn on its psychic?
I think it's passively psychic.
So it just can like listen in on you and like...
I think it's in the abilities stat thing. So we'll take a look. So should a Rakshasa encounter another of its own kind, a shadowy war of intrigue and misinformation often begins.
Oh fuck! They vie for territory.
They do not like each other.
Dope.
This battle of criminal politics culminates in one Rakshasa dominating the other and subjugating its network, or in death of the weaker rival. So either one dominates. I guess either way, one dominates, but one either dominates and subjugates or dominates and kills.
Yeah.
That's the only way these things end.
Have fun in hell or wherever.
Yeah. See you in your next life, bro.
Good luck finding me again.
Yeah, exactly. So as a Rakshasa grows in power and dominates more and more of its kin, it takes on more and more prestigious titles, rising to Ruk, Raja, and all the way up to Maharaja after subjugating all the other Rakshasas in its region.
Fuck.
Yeah. So they can become like super sultans, if you will.
That's weird. I'm having trouble picturing a campaign with multiple Rakshasas, just kind of like.
I mean, you could do the whole campaign in like a place where the Rakshasas have like openly taken over the country.
That's
and that's the nobility. The Rakshasas are the nobility. You know.
Okay.
What I mean? Yeah. So Rakshasas
just fucking killing each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
secretly.
Well, in this case, it would be the Maharaja dominated all the other ones. Yeah, he didn't kill them. Like now you work for me under my network.
That's cool. Yeah. So it's just like a normal kingdom, pretty much.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay.
So Rakshasas are immortal and cannot die of old age. Furthermore, if killed, they will inevitably reincarnate back on the material plane at some point in time. Despite their immortality, death is excruciatingly painful for a Rakshasa, as it means wandering the lower planes as an incorporeal being waiting in unending agony for their bodies to reform.
Holi shit.
So Rakshasas suffer no loss of memory, power, or vitality from death, but the process lands them in a random spot and can take anywhere from between days and years, by which time mortals who had wronged them may have already passed on. When unable to take vengeance upon their killers, Rakshasas often avenge themselves upon their kin or allies instead.
Right, like Ganondorf. He's like,
yes,
fuck you, Link. I'm going to kill your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson.
Very much so. Slaying a Rakshasa on one of the lower planes will permanently destroy them, much like any other fiend. But it is said that they can also be killed permanently on the material plane by driving a blessed weapon through their hearts.
Ooh, so cool.
There is a way to permadeath them.
Is bless like Is that just have to be imbued with the holy energy of a god?
I think that
any cleric kind of just be like, bless this fucking short sword. Yeah.
No, because much like a curse can't just be done by any evil person. I think a blessed weapon is the opposite of a cursed weapon.
Sure. Okay.
So it has to be like through some sort of official ritual or rite that's probably difficult and not too common.
So God has to have like a direct hand in this
probably
killing of a Rakshasa.
Yeah, that or an extraordinarily powerful like divine being. Yeah.
Or it's just like, I trust you, Paladin. Here's a really dope sword. Anything you kill with it will seal the darkness.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But usually to get to that level of trust, that Paladin has to have done a lot of dope shit.
Right.
So Rakshasas have a wide and potent arsenal of abilities and magical powers. They are naturally adept sorcerers, as we discussed earlier, able to use a wide variety of enchantment and illusion spells to beguile their enemies and detect the thoughts of others at will. Most magic is actually of no use against Rakshasas, since they have just an innate ability to resist all magic.
That's cool.
Like, magic just doesn't work on them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
fuck. Well, so like if I shoot a fireball at it, it won't really do damage.
It just won't work.
So like it has to be like swords.
The only way magic affects Rakshasa, it has to be, I think, spell levels of 6 or higher.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So, only potent enchanted weapons are capable of properly harming them, but piercing weapons that have been blessed or potentially those wielded by good creatures are also somewhat effective. As said before, Rakshasas can shapeshift into whatever humanoid form they choose. Their transformation can last as long as they desire, and their new forms cannot be magically dispelled. Although true sight can pierce their guise, and they do revert to their natural form when they're killed.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, like, if you've got a warlock in the party, you can devil sight it up and kind of like...
Is devil sight true sight?
I don't know.
If it is, then yes.
I know devil sight can see through magical darkness. I don't think it actually is working like true sight.
No, I don't think it's true sight.
I said a wrong thing. Sorry.
It happens. But anyone with true sight can see it. But even if you see it, you can't dispel it with any type of magic. So
okay. Oh, so like the point of that being like, you can't prove it to others, so like on the spot.
Yeah.
Just be like, it's a fucking tiger, man.
They're like, I
swear.
You're crazy, bro. To make an already deadly foe worse, their claws contain a magical curse that plagues the minds of those who they strike with nightmares and terrifying visions.
Oh, cool.
Preventing them from resting properly unless the curse is removed.
Damn.
Yeah, they're very vicious creatures.
It's hardcore.
Beyond simply being cruel and contemptuous fiends, Rakshasas torment, beguile, and kill humans in order to also consume their flesh. We're kind of back to the original Hindu mythology now.
Right.
They're man-eaters. They consider it a delicacy and prefer their meat as raw as possible, even and sometimes especially while it's still alive. Their meals are flavored with exotic spices, accompanied by odd side dishes and other expensive choice foods considered revolting to most mortals.
Fucking Hannibal Lecter up in here.
Indeed.
That's how most Rakshasas get caught. They like all of a sudden you bust in and they're eating Cousin Kenny.
Exactly. Poor Cousin Kenny.
Damn, Kenny. He gives you dirt.
So the final fact that I will drop about Rakshasas before we dive into their stat block is the fact that there actually are different subraces within the species.
Okay.
So I got 3 subraces here. Well, 4 if you consider like the classic Rakshasa,
Vanilla.
which is the vanilla one that we just described. But there's 3 others. So there's the Akshazar Rakshasas, which have white fur and are skinnier than the common Rakshasa. They're unusually powerful spellcasters and specialize in necromantic magic very specifically, often occupying graveyards or old battlefields while using their powers to their greatest potential. When working on one of their dark schemes, they often let their undead do the physical work while they stay behind the scenes themselves.
It's pretty evil taking over a town from the graveyard up.
Yeah, indeed.
You're going to start way low.
Next
6 feet down low.
Next is the Nightyan Rakshasas. They have black fur with red stripes and a stronger than average build. They lack the sorcerer's powers typical for their race and are instead animalistic or monstrous shapeshifters with their ability to utilize different supernatural combat styles based on their current forms. So they can like turn into a wolf monster, turn into a bat monster. You know, they can turn into different animal forms and then fight in those forms.
Okay, so this is like a bad druid?
Bad druid, yeah. So where was I? Like normal Rakshasas, they attempt to dominate mortal organizations, although more out of necessity due to their smaller numbers. And then last, we have the Naztharun Rakshasas. They have black fur and a slighter elf-like build. They have few magical powers, but compensate by being dangerous rogues specializing in assassination. They lack most Rakshasas need to be the leader of any organization that they're a part of, often end up working for other Rakshasas.
Okay, so this is like the right-hand Rakshasa.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like, I need you to go kill my boy.
Mm-hmm. Indeed,
okay.
Indeed. So that's everything I got on Rakshasas. You got any questions before we dive into the stat block?
I think it's more interesting for these Rakshasas to be employed by bigger,
badder things?
By bigger, badder things that are not Rakshasas.
Much like Boba Fett.
Because I like that, yes, much like Boba Fett. I like this third one that is basically just Boba Fett. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely right.
Right.
You want to stat block it?
Yeah, let's stat block it up.
I got it right here.
I specifically did not read this, and going forward, I guess I could just stop saying that. I'm not reading the stat blocks before I'm letting Brian read them to me.
Yeah, you guys seem to enjoy this, so we're going to keep doing it. Rakshasa. Medium fiend, lawful evil with an armor class of 16 natural armor.
Not bad.
Hit points of 110 or 13d8 plus 52. Do you ever roll these extra die? Yeah, I'm just going with the standard HP.
Yeah.
I'm actually almost always manipulating the HP to go up or down depending on the situation.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's talkie time. The speed is 40 feet. That's pretty good.
They're quite quick.
Strength 14, Dex 17, Con 18, Intelligence 13, Wisdom 16, Charisma 20.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty
cool. They're charismatic and they have quite the constitution.
Yes. They're strong and dexy. They're pretty much good at everything.
Strong and dexy.
Except for the intelligence is a little lower than I was expecting.
Yeah, 13's high, but it's not as high as like I would expect for criminal masterminds, if you will.
Yeah,
I guess they're really rocking
+3.
that charisma, though.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They're just getting by with a wink and a smile. They've got +10 deception and +8 to insight. That's cool. They can read the room.
I mean, they can read minds, so
yeah. Plus infinity to insight. Damage vulnerabilities, piercing from magic weapons wielded by good creatures. So, like, are you reading the stat block, putting a Rakshasa in your campaign, and if the evil warlock goes to stab this thing, it's like not effective?
I guess so, yeah. If that's
cool.
Read it to me again about its resistance.
Piercing from magic weapons wielded by good creatures.
It's vulnerable to that? Or?
It's vulnerable to that.
Okay, well, then less that the evil warlock doesn't do damage and more that the good paladin does double damage.
So it's vulnerable means you get to do double damage.
Yes.
To it. Okay, means, yeah. Sweet. So that's a bad time for paladins to roll up on these guys.
Yeah, they must hate paladins.
Damage immunities, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. That's cool.
Yeah.
CR is a little lower. Senses, dark vision 60 feet, passive perception 13. They can speak common and infernal. And challenge rating is 13. That's pretty high.
It's high, I think. Higher than a beholder.
So socially challenging as well.
Yes, very much so.
Roleplay challenging. You're probably going to have to fight this thing on the mental battlefield before you fight it in physical form, depending on the situation.
Definitely.
Like
if
you're rolling up
close
into
enough
its
to
territory.
fight a Rakshasa, like it has either fucked up or you have fucked up his or her shit.
Yeah. Okay. Limited magic immunity, which you were talking about. The Rakshasa can't be affected or detected by spells of 6th level or lower unless it wants to be. It has advantage on saving throws against all other types and all other spells and magical effects. So it can just so if you're gonna make it do a dex save, it has advantage on it pretty much if you like fireball it.
No, I thought it said that it just doesn't work. No.
Rakshasas can't be affected or detected by spells of 6th level or lower unless it wishes
can't
to
be affected.
It has advantage on saving throws against all other spells and magical effects.
Yeah. So
okay.
So anything below 6 doesn't affect it. Anything above
6, it has advantage. Okay, shit. Because I was going to say, like, magic. Damn, if you're hitting, but if you're going to hit it with a 6th level or a higher attack, it's going to probably wreck this thing's shop. Like if you do land a magical attack on it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, but that's just because of the level of spell. So
yeah, exactly. High. Yeah, exactly. So like what I'm saying is like when it does get hit by magic, it's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
But honestly, it probably won't get hit by magic.
If you're able to hit it with that type of magic, CR 13, it probably ain't shit to you.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. So innate spellcasting, the Rakshasas' innate spellcasting ability is Charisma, which is a DC 18 plus 10 to hit with spell attacks. Damn, the Rakshasa can innately cast the following spells requiring no material components. It can detect thoughts, disguise self, mage hand, minor illusion, and then 3 times a day it can charm person, detect magic, invisibility, major image, and suggestion. So it's doing some illusion magic, some charms. Once a day it can dominate person, fly, plane shift, or use true seeing.
It's got some power, man.
That's some good shit.
Yeah.
There's a big disparity between like fly and plane shift, I think.
Yeah.
The Rakshasa makes, these are actions. Multi-attack, Rakshasa can make 2 claw attacks. So the claw is a melee weapon attack with +7 to hit, a reach of 5 feet on one target. It's going to do 9 or 2d6 plus 2 slashing damage, and the target is cursed if it is a creature.
Okay.
The magical curse takes effect whenever the target takes a short or long rest, filling the target's thoughts with horrible images and dreams. The cursed target gains no benefit from finishing a short or long rest.
That's fucking cool.
The curse lasts until it is lifted by remove curse spell or similar magic. So if somebody in the party can remove curse,
then you're good.
If you know what's going on, once you identify what the issue is,
exactly.
You can do
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But I know in a lot of games when you don't have a healer in the party and you need to do something like this, the plot point is to go into a town and find the healer
who can do it for you. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Either way, though, that's a really cool effect.
Or Big Trash could come with the holy symbol that he picked up and fused to his palm and just slap you with it.
That's hilarious.
He's like, you have bad sleep, and Big Trash shakes you, and you're good.
Is that it for the stat block? Or
that was it, man.
Really? Okay. I mean, I think it was a good stat block.
It's concise, and there's a lot of meat in there, despite its shorter length.
Right.
I mean, we've read stat blocks. It's like make big tidal wave, but I had to read a paragraph about it.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to spec out the distances.
I will say, even what I said earlier, though, about if you're high enough level to cast high enough spells, Rakshasa's challenge rating probably isn't that big a deal. Still, what if you have to fight 3? Like, even if you're like level 16 and you got to fight 3 Rakshasas, that's a pretty, like, that's not just an average encounter at that point.
Obi-Wan had only fight 1 Jango Fett.
Exactly.
Luke Skywalker only had to fight 1 Boba Fett.
Yep.
He didn't have to fight 3 Boba Fetts.
Nope. Because he would get fucked up by that. Yep.
He'd fucking die.
He fucking died. So
imagine three he's you got anything? Luke Skywalker's fucking chained up. He's over the Sarlacc pit, and then he breaks out. He starts killing dudes, and 3 Boba Fetts roll up on him and fucking jank his ass, fucking kill him.
Oh yeah, that would have been the end of that movie.
That's it. Now Star Wars is now just 3 Boba Fetts.
Anything else about Rakshasas?
Mandalorian.
Get ready for a long rest.
No.
All right, let's get ready for our long rest.
Okay. I've got my secret espionage slippies on. Nice. You can't affect them with magic.
No, completely immune.
I will kick your ass with these slippers on, and you won't know it was me. You'll probably think it was your dad's feet or whatever.
Right.
Okay. Hey, we didn't do Patreon shoutouts in the short rest because we're just getting rid of that fucking short rest.
Yeah. trying to move stuff to the back end of the episode.
Yeah. So good people of Patreon, your time has come once again.
Indeed it has.
So we're going to start from this day down here. Thank you, Emmett Cawley.
Thank you, Emmett.
Let's see here. Yes. Thank you, slacker named Jack.
Thank you, slacker named Jack.
Is that Jack Ford?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, it might be.
Thanks, bud. He's a legendary listener. Jose Nunez.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you, Jose. And we're going to reach out Michael Melendez.
Thank you, Michael.
And then let me see here. Peter Warren.
Thank you, Peter.
And Jesus. Thank you, Grazd.
Thank you, Lord Graz. Grazit.
Ari, the Fox Kit.
Thank you, Ari.
Yes, Titus Swope.
Titus.
Thank
you, Titus.
Thank you, Titus Swope. Noah Shoemaker.
Thank you, Noah.
Shoemaker.
Yeah,
that's how you say it.
Could be Schumacher.
It should be Schumacher.
Well, I think Schumacher is a name.
Schumacher.
Matter of fact, Schumacher is the last name of the director of the old Batman movies.
Oh, I love the old Batman movies. How old are we talking?
Old.
Before Timmy Burton.
Well, no. After Timmy.
After Timmy Burton.
Yeah, he only did one, didn't he?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I think he only did one, and then Schumacher took over.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure. Thank you, Nathan Swenson.
Thank you, Nathan.
So thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody who came in.
Indeed, it helps us a bunch, and I hope you're enjoying that bonus content.
Yes.
We got more bonus content coming.
We're making it easier to listen to the bonus content. Like, all the show notes are basically in a link to our Google Drive folders. It's much easier for us to not do double work and have to repost this stuff and clog the Patreon feed. So hopefully that's working out. We have season 1 of FBATS. It's all self-contained in one of these folders. You can go in there. There's DM notes and maps, and photo inspiration, and everything is organized really nicely. It's how I had it for myself and to share with Jake and Steve, who are the players in that game. And then I was just like, well, why don't I just post this link in here? And it seems to have worked pretty well. So if you are a patron at the $5 level and up, you have access to the full season 1 of Flashbang and the Surgeon. You can go in there and check it out. I'm going to do the same thing with all of our other actual play stuff. I'm going to put it in a Google Drive folder and post the link. And then I'm just going to reorganize the hashtags in Patreon and feature them, so everything will be contained within 4 or 5 hashtags. So it'll be super easy to get in there. We're getting a lot of questions about how to search the content. And I don't know. I don't use Patreon from the user side for our show, so maybe I should do that. Maybe I should. But
I know the site's really clunky.
It's clunky. It's getting better over time. Patreon is in communication with creators to help make things easier. So look out for that. Those links are in the Patreon feed, so you can go check out Will's show notes. You can check out Flashbang and the Surgeon, the Dungeon Chats, which we'll get back to eventually, and then which is a monthly podcast that me and Will do about other stuff. That is not D&D. And you can get a shout out to Demogorgon. No, it's a What the Grumsh mug right now.
Yes.
But maybe we should get the shout out to Demogorgon mug back. People be clamoring for the mug. Shout out to Demogorgon merch.
In the Patreon? I guess
everywhere. People are asking for shout out to Demogorgon merch.
Well, yeah, but I can't just give the non-patrons that mug because that's an exclusive mug.
I know. I want to figure something out.
Yeah, so
that was last year's mug.
Yeah.
This year it's What the Grumsh, right? Or did we change it?
It's What the Grumsh this year.
Yeah.
And then October it'll be something new, and maybe not even a mug. It might be something else.
Right. So you can go get exclusive merch from Patreon, etc. We're constantly trying to work on it there.
Yeah, if we're gonna do a shout out to Demogorgon anything for the non-patrons, we need to come up with a new design completely.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, that would not be fair.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think it's time for a remake on some art for Demogorgon.
I'm down.
All right. That's pretty much all I got.
All right. I think
more FBAT stuff. Season 2 is still. I'm gonna make a folder, a Google Drive folder for season 2 FBATs, and put that in the lower tier because season 3 of FBATs is being worked on right now, and it's on the way, and it's fucking hot and wild. Oh God, it's fucking nuts. It's fucking ape shit up in there, and I can't wait for my diehards that listen to the FBATs to give me the feedback on it. Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about the fact that Super Quest is back, and it's been back, and it's going, and we ain't stopping again.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Barring any never say never.
Oh, you never say never.
But we don't have any more plans to hiatus or stop until the campaign ends. In which case, we'll probably do something short in between.
Right, something to fill the gap if that were to ever come up. Right,
Super Quest fillers.
Yeah,
Super
Quest side quest. Super side quest.
Yeah, we'll workshop the name. We'll get there. It's months and months.
But
and
that's
months
not
off.
even a thing that will probably happen. So
Yeah. So we're gonna keep putting those out. So join us on Super Tuesdays every other Tuesday from the last drop. Wait 2 weeks, and you can join us at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and watch it with us live. We do our best to make sure that one of the cast members is in there chatting it up.
Every week, yeah.
All four of us. When all four of us are not in there, it's because we're recording Super Quest Saga.
That's true.
Which is like we've been recording a lot. We're ahead of schedule. So thanks to everybody that stuck around. And shared that show, and did some of the Dungeoncast's good talky work. Mm-hmm. Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
I think we're done. I think we can call it a game, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye. The Dungeoncast.